You're listening to the Kpop English podcast. To download the study guide for this episode, which includes the transcript, detailed vocabulary explanations, real-world examples, and a quiz, visit our website, culips.com. CULIPS.com. Hey everybody, my name is Andrew.
And my name is Morag.
And you're listening to Kpop. Hi Morag, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing good as well. Morag, quick question for you right off the top.
Mm-hmm.
Today, how much YouTube have you watched?
Oh, man. Well, because I just woke up, only 20 minutes.
You just woke up, but you've already watched 20 minutes of YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably watch minimum an hour and a half a day.
Sounds familiar because I'm quite addicted to YouTube too. I don't usually sit and watch YouTube for a long stretch, like an hour and a half at a time, but I'm just watching random videos throughout the day. I'd say it probably adds up to, over an hour easily by the end of the day. Man.
Yeah.
And so Morag, if you haven't guessed, the topic for this Chatterbox episode is going to be YouTube, because actually it's one of my favorite websites and it's so hot right now, so we might as well chat about it. Everyone, if you want to study along with this episode, you should use our study guide. We made it specifically for you. It's awesome. It's got lots of great exercises and materials that will help you improve your English listening fluency and your overall English abilities. So if you'd like to get the study guide, all you have to do is visit our website, culips.com, to access it. All right, Morag, let's get into it. I'm excited for this episode all about YouTube. Yeah.
Me too.
Now, just a moment ago, Morag, you asked me if I had heard about Poppy. Was that correct? Poppy?
Yeah, Poppy. She.
She. Okay, she is Poppy.
Yeah.
Who is she? Who is Poppy?
Mm-hmm. Poppy is a pop culture music YouTube sensation.
Okay.
And she makes very surreal, slightly uncomfortable videos. She's a tiny little blonde girl, and by girl I mean she's probably 20 something, but okay. A very slight blonde girl who usually looks into the camera with somewhat dead eyes and a very high voice and talks about nonsense for 30 seconds, and then with two kind of like strangely droning sounds behind her, and then it cuts out.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be like, I love this plant, Mr. Plant. Have you met my plant? And then none of it makes sense. There's a mannequin named Charlotte who's trying to kill her or something.
Okay.
This woman now is going on like world tours.
What?
Yeah.
So she's popular. She's a popular YouTuber.
Very popular. There's millions and millions of views.
Really? Wow.
Yes. It is the weirdest thing.
So why do you think she's so popular? Is it funny? Is she really pretty? What's the draw?
She's pretty. It's a kind of humorous thing. It's also, I think there is a real market on YouTube for things that confuse people. the sort of what is that? What the hell is that kind of thing? Kind of phenomenon where you're like, what's going on there? Why? I think she's popular with the kids.
Yeah, it sounds like it might be something that teenagers and tweens are into. Because I don't know if you ever check out the trending page, but you can check out the trending videos on YouTube. And I like to do this. And a lot of the stuff that's like the videos that are at the very top are things that I think are really lame or stupid. And I think why they're trending is because, 13-year-old kids love it and they just watch the crap out of it. And it's gone to the top of the trending list. But when I check it out, I'm like, I don't get it. I'm too old. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like that about most React videos.
Oh yeah, reaction videos.
Yeah, I'm not really into it.
Yeah. Since I live in Korea, I try to stay at least a little bit up to date with K-pop news, and at least so I can, relate to my students a little bit about pop culture. And so there's a huge K-pop subculture on YouTube of people reacting to K-pop videos and covering the dances of K-pop videos. And it is quite something. It's not my cup of tea, but it can be quite funny, actually, to see some kids, teenagers dancing to K-pop as a cover.
Interesting.
It just blows my mind. This is something that never existed when I was in high school, but it's a thing now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
If you have some time, sometime more, I search for K-pop dance covers. You'll see what I'm talking about.
K-pop dance covers? Okay. Yeah. That sounds great.
What are your favorite kind of channels to watch on YouTube?
I have a moderate addiction to like makeup review videos. But that's not interesting, really. Although what is interesting is how gigantic the beauty community is on YouTube. It's huge.
Really?
Oh yeah, making lots of people's careers, and there are these influencers. Do you know that term?
As far as I know, an influencer is somebody who is sponsored by a company or paid to promote a product. They're trying to influence the viewer's mind so that they'll want to buy the product that the YouTuber is talking about. And usually they're quite popular, right?
Yeah, sort of. I think it's I think the relationship's a little bit backwards there. The idea about an influencer is that people will want to use whatever they're using. Okay. So companies want to pay them to use their stuff.
It starts the opposite way, right? The YouTuber becomes popular, and then as a result, companies sponsor them.
Exactly. Companies will sponsor them. And some people are influencers and don't take sponsorships. But most of them do. But yeah, so that's just absolutely gigantic. And they're starting to, partner up with big, well-known makeup brands now, as opposed to celebrities doing it. That's all quite interesting. But the content of it, not so much, except for me. But my favorite stuff to watch is usually stuff about video games and computers, and old video games and old computers.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. There's one guy, my favorite guy. He's LGR, Lazy Game Reviews.
Okay.
And he has these gigantic collection of big box PC games from the late 80s and early 90s. It's just huge, like 2 garages full of all of these games, and goes and reviews and shows game footage from these very strange old games.
What do you mean by big box video game?
Big box PC games?
Yeah.
So, the size of a DVD case or a CD case?
Yeah.
No, DVD, like the movie cases and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Because it's sort of what physical games will come in now. Not that anybody buys physical games anymore. But before they came in these boxes that are almost the size of like a sheet of paper, like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were big boxes. It's like
Big
what
boxes for a little diskette or a CD.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is that, and the fun thing about watching some of these reviews is that in the 80s and early 90s, those boxes were full of stuff.
A big manual.
Giant manual, some like extra information, some like world building, interesting stuff. Also, things were coming on floppy disks, so those take up a lot more room. There used to be a lot of stuff in there, and it's really cool to see that sometimes. So, yeah, oh man, it's great.
Yeah, one of the niche channels that actually I don't watch it regularly, but I've come across in the past that kind of reminds me of this is there's a guy who collects old army rations. He buys them on eBay.
Oh, wow.
From different countries around the world. And then what he actually does is opens them and eats them on camera. So it could be like a really
so cool.
old army ration from like 1970s USSR. And it's like, I don't know, beans and pork. And he'll open it up and he gets really stoked. You can tell he's into collecting this because of how excited he gets. He's like, oh my gosh, there's a little fork that comes with it. Wow, check out this little fork,
Yeah.
But then he'll actually eat the ration too and then give it a review. And this is what I love about YouTube is it gives a voice and an outlet to these really, really niche subcultures that without the internet we just wouldn't know about. I'm sure this guy still would collect old army rations and army memorabilia, but we wouldn't get to see it. And so this is one of my favorite things about YouTube, this glance into weird subcultures.
Right? And sometimes that subculture can just be sort of like one guy, or it would have been just one guy if it weren't for the fact that people can talk to each other about this stuff.
Yeah.
One of my most viewed YouTube things is this user called I think Japanese user called RR Cherry Pie.
Okay.
And he does miniature food things.
Oh, I've seen this guy.
Yeah, the one who does like the do-it-yourself candy things. So hard to explain.
Is he the guy that did the miniature McDonald's Happy Meal set?
Yeah.
He made like a very, very tiny hamburger and some little fries and put it in.
I made that.
You made that?
I made that. I ordered that from Japan and it showed up at my house and I made it because I loved that so much. That guy making it so much. I needed to do it myself.
How was it? Did you eat it after?
Oh God, it was so bizarre. It was so strange. I actually have a video of me and my roommate trying them. Specifically the hamburger ones. I thought it was going to taste like a candy because in that guy's video, he calls it a candy.
Okay.
And it's just a bad translation, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it is not. And actually the whole hamburger, all of the pieces of the hamburger are somewhat flavored to be accurate.
Whoa.
So the meat tastes like a meat biscuit and the ketchup tastes like horribly sweet ketchup and the cheese kind of it's so wrong and so cool at the same time. It was disgusting. I loved it.
Oh, so, yeah. That's hilarious.
But this is the beauty of YouTube and the beauty of the internet. You can find things that you love and that make you happy and that excite you that you never could have been introduced to before.
Totally. And as a music geek, YouTube is heaven. I've found more interesting music that I would never, ever, ever have been exposed to through YouTube. Just because, there's other music geeks that have weird records that they upload and then I can listen to them. So I'm a big YouTube fan. And like I said, I spend a lot of time, probably more time than I should on the website.
It's not that bad. I mean, think about how much time maybe like you or your parents or whatever used to spend watching TV, like cable television, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, YouTube has replaced TV. I don't have a TV. I don't have cable TV. I don't even really watch TV shows anymore. I don't need to. Why should I watch a TV show when I can just watch something that's really interesting to me, whether it be about music or chess or language learning? It's like, these are what I'm into, and I can watch videos about them. Awesome. That's great.
I completely agree with you. I wonder how many of our viewers out there have done a similar thing, because I too don't really watch TV anymore, or even really movies as much. I watch things that are really interesting to me. Like my favorite, in quotes, TV show is one of my favorite streamers gets two of his friends on the stream, and they play an old adventure game from the 90s, video game. They all make video games.
Okay.
And one of them is a professor at USC, the University of Southern California. And they talk about like why it works and what's happening and that sort of thing. They do it like for 2 hours every week. Wow. That is the best thing in the entire world to me. You know, why would I watch anything else? That's the best TV show that's ever been made.
Yeah.
It's called Mostly Walking, by the way, if anybody wants to watch it.
Mostly Walking?
Mostly Walking. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's the best thing ever.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Well, Morag, we'll leave it at here for now, and perhaps we'll have to do a YouTube part 2 episode sometime in the future, because I think there's a lot to talk about when it comes to YouTube.
Absolutely.
If you don't know, and actually Morag, maybe you don't even know, but recently I started to revive the Kpop YouTube channel. We had some videos on our channel a long time in the past, and then we just kind of neglected the channel and let it go to pasture, but I'm trying to bring it back to life. So actually I've been uploading all of our recent episodes to YouTube. So I don't know how you listen to Kpop, but if you prefer, like me, to listen to music and podcasts through YouTube, definitely go and search for Kpop, because you can subscribe and like our channel, and that would just be good news for us. So please check us out on YouTube as well. We're on other social media sites like Facebook and Twitter, and you can reach us by email at the address contact@kpop.com, contact@kpop.com. Yeah, send us a message. Tell us about your YouTube watching habits, or if you have a great channel that you'd like to recommend to us, we'd love to hear that recommendation as well. Okay, Morag, we'll talk to you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
The best way to study with Kpop is by becoming a Kpop member. When you become a Kpop member, you will get full transcripts, detailed vocabulary explanations, and quizzes for each episode. Visit Kpop.com. That's CULIPS.com to sign up and become a member.